Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. Today we are talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. This film is the latest entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is directed by Shawn Levy and it is written by a plethora of people, including the writers of the original Deadpool films, Reese and Wernick. Also joining the writing team is Reynolds, Shawn Levy, and Zeb Wells. This review will be completely spoiler-free, by the way. I'm not going to be giving away any details that are vital or important to the movie or story. And guys, I am so happy to say that this movie fucking rules. It's so good, and it's so much fun, and for many different reasons. First off, it's been a while since we've seen Ryan Reynolds play Deadpool. I think the last one was in 2018, and you forget how much you missed it until you see it again. And he brings the comedy chops, he brings the dramatic chops. This is a very emotional movie. I think this is the most emotional movie since the first Deadpool movie. I know a lot of people say that the second Deadpool movie is the most emotional, but I rewatched them both recently, and I think the first Deadpool is way more emotional than the second Deadpool, but anyway. And of course, we have to talk about Hugh Jackman's return playing Wolverine. We last saw him in Logan, which he said was going to be his last time playing the character, but he did come back for this movie, and man, I'm really glad he did. Hugh Jackman is so fucking good in this movie. This is one of the better Wolverine performances. If you made a tier list of every time he's played Wolverine, this would be in one of the top tiers of his performances as the character. He does a fantastic job. And when I was watching the movie, Hugh Jackman had said in interviews that if he was going to come back, he wants to do something a little bit different with the character and kind of explore a different path. And this when you watch the movie, when you see his performance and what he's doing, you're like, oh, I get why he came back. I get the angle that they're going for here. Comedically, the film worked fantastically. On an action level, I think this has the best action of the three Deadpool movies. There is an action sequence in the third act that starts off a little shaky, but then it finds its footing and ends fantastically. But all the action leading up to that was perfect, and like I said, even better than the first two films. Also, once you watch this review and once you watch other spoiler-free reviews, I highly recommend staying off the internet until you get a chance to see this film, because my God, there are so many fun surprises in this movie that your audience will eat the fuck up. And what I liked about them is that while playful, and yes, were obviously chosen to kind of, for the fans and everything, they all had a purpose in the storytelling. And I don't want to get into specifics because obviously I don't want to spoil anything, but each fun surprise that you get in the movie, each kind of Easter egg you get in the movie, had a storytelling purpose, and it, really helped Deadpool and Wolverine on their journey throughout this movie. And I think the most surprising aspect of the movie to me, and honestly, the most surprising thing that quote-unquote Disney let them get away with, was not, the raunchiness or the gore or anything like that. It was the story that it was telling. This is a lot more of the third movie in the Deadpool trilogy than it is the first MCU Deadpool movie. And I'm very surprised that, Kevin Feige and company kind of were okay with basically just doing the next movie in an already established franchise. Yes, of course, there are MCU ties, but it very much so, for the most part, just felt like the next Deadpool movie. And from a storytelling perspective, having seen the movie, if you told me going in, is that what you want? I probably would have told you no. But having seen it, that was the best choice for a satisfying story to tell. And honestly, and by the way, this is not a spoiler at all. If you asked me, hey, do you think we'll see Deadpool and possibly even Wolverine again? I would say, I think yes. However, the movie ends in a way where it's not like a grand setup for anything else, which was also surprising. And if this was the last movie where we saw Deadpool and Wolverine, I would be satisfied in the story. I would be satisfied in the Deadpool trilogy, if you will, and I would be satisfied with this as a cap on the end of the Fox era. I would be completely satisfied with that if they decided to not continue with these characters. Do I think that'll happen? No. But if that's what they decided, I think they did a really great job kind of putting a nice little bow on that world and on this story. And of course, the movie isn't perfect. There are a few issues I have with it. Cassandra Nova is a fascinating character, and Emma Corrin did an amazing job playing Cassandra Nova. I thought that their performance was excellent. But in a movie that has a lot going on, you have to kind of sidestep one aspect, and I feel like Emma Corrin was the thing that was sidestepped. And they did a great job kind of setting up, that character and, everything that they're about, to the point where it really intrigued you as an audience member, like, oh yeah, like that's cool, like I want to explore more of this. And then the movie had a lot more movie to do and kind of left it to the side. What we got of Cassandra Nova was really great, and like I said, Emma Corrin was great, but if there's a part of the movie that's left like more to be desired, it was exploring that character. The third act of the movie also slightly loses its footing just for a minute, and then it quickly gets it back. But the first 2 acts of this movie are damn near perfect. And then when we got to the third act, I had a moment where I was like, uh-oh, don't fall, don't stumble. And then it didn't. It got right back up. But it does. The third act is the one that feels the most disconnected to the rest of the movie. Guys, there's so much to talk about with this movie, especially with how much I loved it on a thematic level, on a story level, on a character level, but I would have to spoil it to go into that, which I'm not going to do here. We are going to do a separate spoiler review video, Nick and I, those of you familiar with our podcast, the Movie Nights Roundtable. We will be doing a spoiler review of Deadpool and Wolverine sometime this weekend to give people a chance to see it. It will be virtual because I will be in San Diego for Comic-Con, but please look forward to seeing our spoiler review of Deadpool and Wolverine. It will be a lot of fun. I highly, highly, highly recommend this movie. It's a great time at the movie theater, and I think this is the best movie that Marvel has done since Guardians 3, and it might even be better than Guardians 3. I just saw it. I don't want to have like recency bias in that argument, but yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Once you've had a chance to see it, what did you think about it? I'd love to see your comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.